Druski, also known as the funniest man on the internet. All of you have seen him. He's everywhere. But how? Where did he come from? It's like he was a nobody and then all of a sudden everyone knows who he is and he's hanging out with every famous rapper. How did Druski get so famous? And what does his future hold? My name is Patrick CC. This is the curious case of Druski. Make sure you're drinking water while you're watching this video. Druski is a 26-year-old comedian from Gwinnett County in the Atlanta metro area. Living in the suburbs exposed him to two vastly different cultures. His ability to accurately and tastefully poke fun at the two biggest cultures in America makes him a comedian for everyone. As you can probably imagine, Druski was a class clown in high school. He was always the funny guy. But he graduated, went to Gwinnett, Georgia College, transferred to Georgia Southern University, which is a massive party school, and dropped out after one semester, all before even attempting any real comedy.
So you dropped out because you wanted to pursue the comedy? You just dropped out because
yeah,
you were over
because it was crazy because I was doing the radio that first semester. I wasn't really passing my classes like that, but I was doing the radio so I'm like, yo, if anything, I'm gonna try to stick in this to just do, like, try to get on this ESPN, get on TV bullshit. Because it didn't feel right. Being all the way out there in the middle of nowhere, it didn't feel right.
I also just think it's funny that Druski decided to get into scamming for a little while after college, in which he claims that he sucked at.
I knew it wasn't for me, because I sucked at scamming too, so.
What kind of scams
I was trying to scam.
What kind of scams was it?
Nah, I can't speak on that. Come on, small eyes. God damn.
Druski's first skit, he claimed, wasn't really planned. His friend just started filming him while he was joking around and forced him to post it. But he got a lot of local love and they encouraged him to do more. He was inspired and started consistently uploading content since then. Druski made a cameo in T Grizzly's Where I'm From music video. We couldn't really find any info on how this happened, but it was Druski's first role outside of just like his Instagram thing that he was doing, which is pretty cool. Druski said it wasn't until December of 2018, a full year after he started, before he had something go mini viral. This Scammer Matters skit got around 60,000 views on Instagram and another 50,000 on Twitter. So at this point, he was just consistently uploading, trying to grind out these skits and post once, twice, 3 times a week, kind of the same way that an upcoming artist would just try to put out songs consistently while they're on the come up. Pretty much out of nowhere, Druski posts a skit with Lil Yachty, and there really isn't any information on there on how this happened. My best guess is that Yachty is from Atlanta and likes to support upcoming talent from Atlanta, like Druski, and Yachty just seems like one of those dudes who supports people that he thinks are cool regardless of clout.
Oh my gosh, how exquisite! Yeah, I'm thinking about the Ferrari. I drove the Bentley yesterday. Oh yeah, the Bentley!
Shortly after this Yachty skit, he would post his biggest skit to date, which was him making fun of rappers who turn into fake pharmacists while analyzing lean.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you see how I shake it like that? Look real close. You see how I shake it like that? Yeah, them motherfuckers do that right there. Yeah, no, they put that motherfucker bubble up like that. I mean, that motherfucker no good. Oh, God.
At this point, Druski definitely made friends with Yachty. He posted a video of them in a studio, and Yachty shared his videos a number of times. He hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. I know 100K sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but it's still not nearly enough to be making a living off this stuff. Druski posted this extremely accurate Drake impersonation, and we think this is where Druski got put onto Drake's radar. Spoiler alert, they would eventually become friends.
Like Tom Ford, like a rock. You see it, yeah. Yeah, Tom Ford trousers and FUBU shoes down there. Yeah, niggas see him like a rock.
2 years into the comedy game, and Druski announced that he would be hosting Jack Harlow's Mission Tour. This 30-stop tour exposed him to thousands of people all across the nation. And this was just before Jack Harlow really blew up with the What's Poppin' video on Lyrical Lemonade. So they were both on the come up and they were both on the grind. And again, we don't know how they became friends. And another spoiler alert, we don't really know how Druski became friends with any of these rappers. We really just think it was the organic way. They just liked his stuff, thought he was funny, and reached out to him in the DM, which is pretty much how I became friends with rappers so it's not really that far-fetched. After the tour, he posted a skit with Fatboy SSE, which is basically like getting a Drake feature in the Instagram comedy game.
You thought it was gonna be another fat, funny motherfucker on the gram, huh? Nah, man. Did I tell you to talk?
Fatboy is a very established Instagram influencer and comedian. Again, just building Druski's arsenal of cosigns. Then he posted a clip with OBJ. We know that Druski became friends with OBJ pretty early on, but exactly when, again, is unclear. In the beginning of 2020, Druski hosted Yams Day, which is a huge hip-hop culturally important event held every year. Not just anyone is going to be able to host such a salient event for the culture. It's safe to say that by now, Druski is pretty well connected in the hip-hop world. It seemed like at the end of 2019, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, he was just absolutely leveling up and doing something new and exciting in his life. And only being 2 years in shows how far just pure talent and just being likable will bring you. In February of 2020, the iconic Kyle Rogger character would be introduced. That would eventually change a lot for him.
Listen, bro. Listen. I was at fucking, dude, Kyle Rogger had a fucking kickback last night, bro.
The skit got 750,000 views on his Instagram, but let me assure you that this was everywhere. The unfortunate thing about comedy on Instagram and Twitter is that it tends to get stolen and reposted a lot. Instead of these pages just sharing Druski's work, they would just screen record it, post it on their own page, and not even tag him, so that he's not really getting the recognition that he deserves. But the good news is his comedy and content is still being spread to the world, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. I definitely think at the end of the day it was all positive and it did help Druski grow, but a lot of the numbers don't seem as big as these skits actually were because they were being shared across so many different platforms. This brings just an interesting point. In March of 2020, Druski had a GQ article written about him, titled Hip Hop's Favorite Comedian. And this wouldn't be the first time that Druski is referred to as a hip hop comedian, which I understand because he's beloved in the hip hop world and obviously is friends with a lot of rappers, but let's not put him in a box. He's just a comedian. He has a lot more to offer than just making skits about rappers. Druski also moved in with Odell Beckham Jr. during the off season in quarantine, which definitely got him tapped in even more with famous people and just probably helped him build up his network. He said that meeting all these rappers and celebrities has inspired a lot of his content, or he just thinks making fun of them is fun. In March, he had a cameo in Lil Yachty's music video, Oprah's Bank Account, which Drake also had a cameo in there. Maybe they had some interactions, possibly. Over the summer, he had his No Jumper interview, which definitely allows people to get a better understanding of who you are as a person. He also posted this video of Drake wearing the Kyle Rogger University sweatshirt. This was the first real indication that Druski and Drake were friends, which as you can imagine is pretty big news. But when Druski was asked about it, he didn't make it seem like it's a big deal.
Yeah, I really didn't even trip about it because when I became friends with him, it was just literally like a genuine like friendship. Like it wasn't even on no fan shit.
The last big summer moment for Druski was being featured in the Laugh Now, Cry Later music video with Drake and Lil Durk. It was a huge video, has almost 200 million views today. In this video, you could see Druski, OBJ, and Drake all laughing and chopping it up like they're homies, because they are, and Druski even had a whole part dedicated to him.
Don't start that.
No, I'm good. I'm just regrouping.
You sure?
You got a tissue?
No. Why would?
Okay.
And at this point, Druski only had 600,000 followers, which, again, talent, likability, it'll bring you far. Doesn't matter about follower count. Druski would then host the Rolling Loud live stream event, where he got to interview every artist and just be the face of the show. I think this was a crucial part because these Instagram live concerts or YouTube live concerts or Twitch live concerts are extremely boring. Druski brought the event alive, and Mario Judah.
The enemies will die.
At this point, you're probably like, damn, what can't he do or what hasn't he done? He can cameo in music videos, he can do comedy sketches, he can host events. I suspect that in the future there will be some movie roles, maybe his own TV show, maybe on Netflix or maybe a YouTube original series. Hopefully we get some stand-up comedy from him because I feel like that's kind of the natural progression of somebody who does comedy. He's just a great entertainer. So anything that involves people wanting to be entertained, I think Druski's your guy. In November, Druski did his ongoing Instagram live series where he acts as the CEO of a record label could have been records, and he invites people to come on and essentially try out or pitch themselves to get signed. I know this seems like it wouldn't be a huge moment for him, and we haven't talked about it at all in the video, but so many people screen recorded and shared the clips of this live stream that he became #1 trending in the world on Twitter. That will get you some attention. As it sits today, Druski is at 621,000 followers on Twitter, 1.4 million followers on Instagram, and only 64,000 on YouTube, which we gotta go over there, subscribe to his channel, run up his numbers, and show some love because he's gotta make some money on this content too. Now you can make the argument that Druski's connection to rappers and being friends with them and then having them share his stuff all the time has, without a doubt, helped him blow up. But I think what it really comes down to is he's just talented. He's extremely likable. He has the ability to appeal to many different types of people. He has the ability to make fun of many different types of people and do it in a charming, not controversial way and just in a fun way. People love Druski because he's funny and he's likable. Not because he's friends with Drake or he lives with OBJ, because he's just a funny ass comedian. And I hope we really get to see him make some major moves outside of social media. We want to see Druski win. My name is Patrick CC. Subscribe.